Exception to the rule. Yes, yes, yes. $75 for 28 miles Walmart Spark. But it takes me out of my market. Now, in something like that, I'm willing to make the exception to the rule. But the only way you make an exception to the rule on something like that is if you've worked any other Walmarts outside of that market. Like I always say, the best way to actually do this is when you have all apps on at full strength and when you're working one solid market and you're working the hours. Well, this one that they sent me was probably the only exception that I broke that rule. $75 for 28 miles. And the good thing is that the end point of any batch order, because batch orders work like in time frames, like 2 hours, 3 hours. I looked at the end point, it was actually outside of my market. Now, I took this one because I said to myself, okay, well, I know the Walmart in that area. Okay? So I've worked at that Walmart in that area, as well as another Walmart that's close to that area. So I said to myself, okay, I can make an exception with this one. You gotta remember that when you're taking these big deliveries, you want to get to your number as soon as possible. And you know, with the high levels of uncertainty that go on out here, when you get something that big, you want to grab it. Okay? Time is money. All right? You got to make the time work for you as much as possible to be able to make that money. Okay? And I started early enough today, which was really good. And but this order was just too much to turn down. I'm actually in the process of doing it right now, and it is a batch order. I'm dropping it off at at every house, just like it was like an Amazon Flex, same thing. But it's going to throw me out of my market. And even if worst case scenario, if I had to go back into my market, which I really don't have to, because I've worked the Walmarts in these outskirts several times in the past, and they've worked very well. So I could literally stay in this market and then turn on DoorDash and GrubHub as my backup in this new market that I'm in. Sometimes the great thing about this is that you can actually literally work large regions, and in those regions they're broken down to small markets that you can actually work in. I like to stay in the same market because I know the same homes, the same houses, the same place. But I gotta admit, when you gotta go where the money goes. Okay? And when I saw that big order, I said to myself, okay, this is a nice start for the day, gives me a nice boost for the day, and it's going to get me on the right path for the day. So I figured, you know what, let me just take this offer. The hell with it. And those are the only times that you can actually break the rules. I mean, if the end point is somewhere where you know that there's a Walmart that you've worked in the past and you've done in the past, and you feel good about that one or two Walmarts in that area that's outside of your market, then I would definitely say, okay, go for it. The miles are low, the dollar amounts are high. It's pretty cool. Even if I wanted to go back into my market, it would probably be like maybe another 10 more miles. It's still pretty good. So I figured, you know what? Let me take this, I'll run it, and I'll start working outside in the outskirts for today and try out that market over there. I can still work DoorDash, I can still work GrubHub to pick up the slack in case anything's bad in that market, and I'll be fine. I mean, my market is very huge, and I've tried out enough to know which Walmarts are the best. So those are my power bases. And then from there, I can then build my DoorDash and my GrubHub around those power bases to stay planted in that area and just work it all day. So I like to give things little fancy names. And that's the best part about being your own boss, is that you can actually choose the regions that you want to go into. And remember, there are hundreds of other people out here working. So the bottom line is that, you can just pick the regions that you want to really go into and actually work without no problem. And you'll be fine. I'm just going to pause this for 1 second, be right back. So yes, those are the only times that I would actually break my rules just a little bit to go into another market, as long as I know there's a Walmart out there that I can officially work. And that's worked for me as well too. So my day is structured around working in that Walmart out there in that area while keeping DoorDash and GrubHub on at full strength in that area. And then tomorrow I can just return back to my market and I'll be fine. I'll be okay. Sometimes you have to make those snap decisions because, again, like I said, if you have a target number that you want to hit and they send you a nice big order like that, you got to very much think on your feet and decide what you want to do and grab that order so that the process of making that money quickly for the day, it's a smoother ride for you. And I know that the area that I'll be going into is a very, very strong area. And they normally do send a lot of deliveries in that area, which is really good. So, I'm hoping that everything will turn out fine. I don't like changing markets like that if I don't have to. I actually thought to myself, well, I'm going to lose my DoorDash locked in delivery there in that area, but it's well worth it because of the amount that I'm getting paid. I want to try to hit my numbers as fast as I can throughout the day. And with the levels of high uncertainty that are out here, you got to think on your feet. And when you know that you get a big order like that, you want to grab that order and work with it to the best of your ability, because you don't know how the day is going to turn out. You have no idea. So when you get those big batch orders, just grab them. Just grab them. And if the miles are very low, it is definitely worth it. And, I'll just strategically turn on DoorDash when I'm in that area, and I'll see, what's going to come up with DoorDash, and I can work that market just like I work my old market in my area. So having this many Walmarts spread out within a certain region makes it very possible for high levels of flexibility and freedom, because you can always move around in each region and work each market within those regions and stay there all day and just work it. And it's pretty good, At worst case scenario, I can then connect my deliveries back into my area. So if I could take deliveries that take me closer and closer to my area that I normally work, closer to my home, then I can do that as well too, which is really cool. So yes, that is the only exception to the rule that I do. And again, everybody can basically make their own rules when they're doing this, but try to do it in such a way that you're saving the dollar per mile ratio, which is very important, and that you're doing it in a way that makes sense pocket-wise. Like, it makes sense to me to actually take this delivery because I know that outskirt area where the Walmarts are, so I know I'm going to be fine there for the rest of the day. And that I can easily just drive home. I don't purposely want to go into that area to work that area, but if I get paid enough to be able to go into that area with the right dollar per mile ratio, yeah, I'm going to grab it without a doubt. Okay? And again, high dollar amounts, low miles. $75 for 28 miles. Yes, that is very good. If it was going into a weird area, then I probably wouldn't have taken it, because then you got to drive right back all the way, put more dead miles on your car just to get back. At least with this, I can work it. I'll be fine. So, but anyway. So that's basically where I'm at for the day. I'm actually trying out this phone right now as my new dash cam. So it works kind of really cool. So I'm using it right now. And again, leave any comments in the section below. Let me know any tips and tricks that you guys might have. Let me know how you guys are doing. I'm getting lots and lots of comments and lots of subscriptions, which I'm so blessed and grateful for. Keeping you posted on my content creation as I'm building it slowly. I'm going into my second month, and so far I'm at 141 subscribers and growing. You guys make it possible, and I hope that all the experience that I give to you guys works well for you. Leave me that likes in the area of the comment section, And any questions you have, just feel free to talk to me. I'm here for you, you know? We're always out here by ourselves, working by ourselves, and it's great to have this silent community of people that are just doing their best out there, just trying to make it work, you know? Independence, freedom, and flexibility. Being able to be your own boss is without a doubt a very powerful gift. So, just reach out to me. If you have any questions, I can also talk about it on the channel, take some of that information, pass it on to everybody else. And I hope my experience is working out for you guys as well too. That being said, have a great day.